Chapter 1. The White Room. She didn't fall asleep. Sleep abandoned her first. Her body lay still, heavy against the bed, but her mind kept drifting through half-felt memories, unspoken words, and emotions she had folded neatly inside herself for years. The room around her felt too quiet, as if the world was holding its breath. Then the quiet broke. Not with sound, but with light. She opened her eyes and found herself standing in a white room. Not a comforting white, no warmth, no softness, but a vast, endless white that erased all sense of time and direction. There were no doors, no windows, no corners to hide in. The air felt clean yet suffocating, like silence pressed into a shape. And in front of her, a mirror. Tall, seamless, unforgiving. She stepped closer, heart cautious, as if the glass might speak before she was ready to listen. Her reflection stared back at her exactly as she was tired eyes, carrying years of restraint, shoulders strong from carrying too much alone, lips curved into a smile practiced so often it had forgotten how to be real. Relief washed over her. At least she recognized herself. Then the mirror shifted. The image trembled as if the glass were breathing. Her reflection didn't disappear, but transformed. The woman staring back now stood taller. Her posture was unguarded. Her eyes were calm, steady, untouched by the fear that lived so deeply in her own chest. This version didn't look braver. She looked free. The room grew heavier. The air thickened until each breath felt earned. "Who are you?" she whispered, her voice barely surviving the silence. The reflection met her gaze without flinching. "I'm who you would be," it said gently, "if you stopped betraying yourself." Something cracked inside her. Her chest burned as the mirror filled with moving images, moments she had buried. Justified, excused, every time she stayed quiet to keep the peace. Every time she accepted less than she deserved. Every time she said it's okay, when her soul was screaming that it wasn't. Tears blurred her vision. "I was just trying to survive," she whispered. "I know," the reflection replied softly. "But you don't live there anymore." The mirror began to crack. White fractures spread across the glass like lightning, the room trembling as if responding to a choice she hadn't made yet but could no longer avoid. Her hand shook as she reached forward, not to fix herself, but to choose. Chapter 2. Shadows of the Past. The moment her fingers brushed the cracked glass, the room seemed to ripple. Suddenly, she was no longer in the white room, but somewhere else entirely. The mirror's reflection pulled her backward, into shadows of her own life. She saw herself again, years younger, standing in the middle of a crowded classroom. A joke had been made at her expense, laughter echoing like shards in her chest. She had forced a smile, bowed her head, and said nothing. She had laughed quietly, swallowing the sting, hiding the hurt even from herself. Then the next scene, a meeting at work. Her hand raised, a brilliant idea ready to fly. But when she spoke, her voice faltered. Her colleagues moved on, her idea lost in silence. She had nodded politely, hiding the disappointment that burned inside. A third memory, her home. She had said yes to yet another request she didn't want to grant. Her body had tightened, her stomach twisted, but she smiled. "It's okay," she had said, and it had never been okay. Each memory hit her like cold water. She realized how often she had chosen survival over truth, peace over herself, others' comfort over her own heart. The weight of it pressed down, heavier than the white room ever could. She trembled. "I was only trying to survive," she whispered, the words tasting like ashes on her tongue. The mirror's voice echoed softly inside her mind. Not in sound, but in certainty. "I know, but look at what you've lost by hiding. Look at who you could have been if you had spoken. If you had reached, if you had trusted yourself." Tears ran freely now, hot and unrelenting. She didn't just see her past, she felt it all at once. The fear, the regret, the silent despair. And behind it all, a faint, quiet voice that had been there all along. The version of her that had been waiting to step forward. The white room hummed faintly, and the cracks in the mirror began to glow, pulsing like a heartbeat. She realized then, these shadows weren't here to punish her. They were here to show her, to remind her that survival had kept her alive, but it had never let her live. Her hands still hovered over the mirror. Her chest burned with something new, not fear, not regret, but possibility. She wanted to step forward. She wanted to reach through. She just didn't yet know how. Chapter 3. The Other. Her. The white room returned, but it was different now. The air hummed softly, alive as if waiting. She stood before the mirror once more, trembling. The cracks from before had spread, faintly glowing like veins of light. And there she was, the other, taller, calm, radiant, with a quiet certainty she had never known in her own body. "I've been waiting," the reflection said. Not cruel, not distant, but patient, like the tide that always returns. "Waiting. For what?" she whispered, her voice barely steady. "To remember," the other her replied. "To remember who you are beneath all the fear, all the compromises, all the silences." Her chest tightened. I don't know if I can't. I've spent so long hiding, even from myself." The reflection's gaze softened. "You've hidden because you were scared, but hiding never freed you. It only kept you small. And now, it's time to grow." Suddenly, the mirror shimmered, and new images appeared, not memories this time, but possibilities. Her speaking up in a meeting and people listening. Her saying no and feeling the weight lift from her chest. Her standing alone, unafraid, smiling with a quiet joy she had never allowed herself. Each vision made her stomach twist with fear and longing. I don't know if I'm strong enough," she admitted, tears blurring the glowing cracks. "You've always been strong," the other her said gently. "You just refused to believe it. You survived every moment that should have broken you. That is strength, but surviving is not enough. You deserve to live." Her hands hovered again, trembling close to the mirror. She wanted to touch it, to merge with the strength she saw reflected back, but doubt pulled her away. "Strength isn't about never breaking," the reflection whispered. "It's about standing up, even when every part of you wants to turn away. It's about choosing yourself every single time. And I'm here to remind you that you can." For the first time, she felt a spark, tiny, fragile, but undeniable. The cracks in the mirror pulsed brighter, and the white room hummed louder. She realized then, this other version of herself was not a stranger, not a ghost, not a threat. She was the self she had abandoned. And if she could reach her, truly reach her, she could step into a life she had only dared to dream of. Chapter 4. Fractured Reflections. The white room shivered. Shards of the mirror glowed violently now, lines of light jagged and unpredictable. She stared at her reflection, the other her, but fear clung to her like a second skin. "I'm not ready. I can't." Her chest ached as memories surged. Uninvited, moments she had failed, words she had swallowed, times she had given everything to everyone else but herself. Every choice that had kept her safe now felt like a chain. "I can't," she whispered, shaking. "I'm not enough. I'll never be enough." The other her stepped closer, serene, untouchable, yet warmer than the room could hold. Enough isn't given. Enough is chosen. Every act of courage, no matter how small, proves it. You have chosen survival for too long. Now it is time to choose life. The cracks in the mirror widened, splintering like lightning across her vision. Each fracture reflected not only her face, but also all the fear she had, carried doubt, guilt, shame. She wanted to turn away, to run back to the comfort of hiding. But the other hurt's voice pierced through. "You will never be free if you keep running from yourself. You are not the girl who stayed silent. You are the woman who can rise. You already are rising. You just have to reach." Tears blurred her eyes, and for the first time, she let herself feel the full weight of every suppressed emotion, anger, sadness, regret, fear, all tangled together. And then pain, pure, searing pain, not from the past, But from knowing how long she had abandoned herself, her hands hovered over the fractured glass. Her fingers trembled, hovering between fear and choice. "Step forward," the reflection whispered, her voice soft but unyielding. "Step forward or remain a shadow forever." The cracks pulsed with a heartbeat of their own. The room shook, and in that moment, something inside her broke. The part of her that believed she was too small, too weak, too lost. She didn't step back. She reached forward. Chapter 5. The Choice. The moment her fingers touched the fractured glass, the world shattered. Not violently, not painfully, but completely. The mirror didn't resist her touch. It welcomed it. The cracks dissolved into light, spreading outward like waves across water. The white room began to fade, its walls loosening, its silence breaking into something softer, almost warm. Her breath caught. For a heartbeat, she felt everything at once, the fear she had carried for years, the grief of all she had lost by staying silent, the exhaustion of surviving instead of living. It pressed into her chest until she thought she might collapse beneath it. "I'm scared," she whispered. The other her stepped forward, so close now that there was no glass between them. No distance, no separation. "I know," she said gently. "Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing yourself anyway." Light spilled through the room, wrapping around them both. The two versions of her stood face to face, one trembling, one steady, yet somehow they were the same. "You don't have to be perfect," the other her continued. "You don't have to be fearless. You only have to stop abandoning yourself." Tears streamed freely now, but they no longer felt heavy. They felt honest. Slowly, she took a step forward, then another. The moment she crossed the invisible space between them, something inside her shifted. The calm of the other her flowed into her chest, filling the empty spaces fear had carved out. The strength she had admired was no longer distant, it was hers. The room pulsed once, like a final breath, and then she woke up, gasping, heart racing, chest tight, breath uneven. The darkness of her bedroom wrapped around her, real and grounding, but the feeling remained. A quiet fire burned inside her, not destructive, but alive. She pressed a hand to her chest, steadying herself. One truth echoed through her, clear and unshakable. You don't become better by wishing. You become better the moment you stop abandoning yourself.